either you will find a fisherman or a postman. This time, I found a postman. He came to deliver the letter. 2 weeks back, I wrote a letter to my cousin who was in Bangalore, 550 kilometers away. After 2 weeks, post 2 weeks, the letter comes, I am fine. So I don't know what happened in that 2 weeks, but we believed that he is fine. So it took 2 weeks for him to send that letter, which says that he is fine. Then I write back that I am also fine, and hope you are fine again. So then it goes after 2 weeks, it reaches the person who is in Bangalore. So this used to be a only method of communication when I was probably 8, 9, 10-year-old. And then came one landline phone in my village. It's a remote village, 550 kilometers from here. And the landline was in one Brahmin's house. In the whole village had one Brahmin house who were the head of that village. And my cousin or somebody will call from Bombay or Bangalore, and they'll say, okay, inform the family that I will call at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So 4 o'clock, we will go at 3:30 and stand waiting when this call will come, because we don't want to miss that call. So that is the only telephone, this is a landline, which was there in my native back then 1.5 decades ago. But things changed. Things changed. I still remember Nokia 1100 was my first phone. And only thing I could do is that phone up or some SMS or some snake game. It had a game called Snake, so I was hooked on to that game. And today, my driver holds a smartphone. When I'm here, my driver must be playing with a smartphone because mobile is not just a communication device, it's an entertainment device today. So he spends, by the time I already spent 2 hours here, and he must be playing or he must be watching some video or listening to music. So from just a simple communication device, it's become an entertainment device. When I see somebody posting on a Facebook saying, I just got my iPhone 6s now, I'm like, oh, it's about status. That somebody got an iPhone 6s is a status. So that communication to entertainment, it has become a status symbol. And it's a new ornament in place. So obviously it's a depreciating asset, but still it's an ornament to tell that, okay, I own an iPhone 6s. So the communication to entertainment to status, I'm very proud to have belonged to a generation where I witnessed and experienced this drastic change in a 1.5 decade in Indian history. And it was fantastic. Today, some data I saw, by 2019, we will have 600 million people using smartphone. Wow, this is a staggering number, and it's an opportunity for 500 million people, and like a massive opportunity. This app created for everything in the world possible. They have created an app. And if you see in my native, as the native which is very rural, you see everybody are on a WhatsApp. And they have a group now. And even they'll come to know which fish will come to the market today because somebody is taking a photo and putting on the WhatsApp. And who is going where and who is getting married to whom and what are those pictures, everything. And I was just telling a friend that nowadays it has become a trend that I don't know whether I live and take a picture for social media or I actually live to take a picture for social media. There's an interesting thing which I'm trying to analyze on a psychological level. And anyway, today, like earlier we used to only pay for the voice calls. Today I pay more money for the data than the voice calls, correct? So the things are changing, and India is very swiftly adopting the technology. Mobile technology has really penetrating into the deepermost part of the country. What I see is that there's app for everything, but sometimes it's not that the market is ready for everything. We did our mistake. So 3 years back, so we had this, I co-founded a company called Fly with VIP. We auction seat next to a celebrity in the flight. Let's say Amir Khan, Salman Khan going, we buy a seat next to them and auction it to the public, and we raise money. So we thought we'll develop an app for this, and we did a big projection that we will have 1 million people actually downloading this app, and we valued a company at $5 million and raised $1 million. And wait, that is not a story, so not to clap. So because that didn't work, because we realized that getting that app out in the market, first it needs a huge money. It's a B2C segment where I need to tell the people there's an app exists like this. Then, how often they use? Why do they need an app for that? It just can be a website that they can go and do it. And then we realized that it's better to have a B2C where the telecom operator will send an SMS saying that, do you want to fly with Salman Khan? So the whole idea, then my investor said, no, it's not going to work, because if you get this app out, you'll need another millions of dollars to make sure that it reaches to the people, and then only I don't know how many will actually download this app. So we failed because we were a little early in terms of understanding the market that this needs it's a luxury, right? Flying with a celebrity is a luxury or something which is aspirational, whether it really needs an app. So then I realized that the real world problems, the apps which have solved the real world problem, we had a Uber, Ola, all these things, they have been more successful because they actually identified the problem. Aspiration comes when your basic needs, the basic problem is solved. Then only we look for an aspiration. So we failed. There's a fantastic failure we had. Obviously, we changed the model to B2B to B2C to B2B, and we are actually talking to telecom operators to get our product out in the market. And then one more thing, I recently met a guy. He was telling me that I developed an app where actually the sound note can identify who has transferred money to you. I was like, really? It looks like a science fiction movie where it can use, and I don't know when it will see a light of the day. Because do I really need? But he has done it. But we need dreamers like him. We need people who are creative like him. Probably, I don't know when, but it might come to a light one day. So those are the dreamers, those are the people who actually thought out of the box, have created something which solved some of the problem. Well, even though India is well adopting the app, in fact, it's a self-learning. There's no way people actually, somebody teaches somebody to use the app. No, it's everybody learns their hard way and this self-learning. Being a social entrepreneur, I'd like to highlight something on a social angle. Because I feel that, yes, many of them have made app a business, a billions of dollars business, and they've solved some of the problems. But there are many more problems which on a social level can be solved using the mobile technology. I would like to quote 4 amazing developers who have solved the real world problem in a very big way. One guy is called Ajit Narayan. Ajit Narayan developed an app called Avaz to help autistic children communicate to their parents. And he actually used pictures, visual grammars, where the child can actually put those pictures in places one by one and communicate to a mother that I need a milk, I need a soup. And I found it very fascinating that he just identified the problem, which is actually for an autistic children, probably for us, we may not be able to connect, but it's a very big problem. And he's just solved it with the one simple idea of communicating using pictures, visuals, and he made an app for it, and it's done fantastic. And then another guy called Topher White. Topher White actually went to Amazon, and he found out that the illegal login is happening in Amazon, and the people are cutting the trees. And the illegal afforestation is happening. So he wanted to find a way that how do you actually catch hold of these guys? It's very difficult because it's a dense forest and there's no one out there, even though there's a security out there, but it was very difficult for them to find out who is cutting at what location. So then what he did is that he picked up all the old used mobile, he programmed it with some solar thing so that its battery can last for long, and he put it above the tree, and the programming only identifies the sound of a chainsaw. So whenever that sound comes, they will get the beef at the controlling center, and they may immediately rush, and they caught the thieves, and it significantly brought down the afforestation, illegal logging into the Amazon forest. I think it's one of the fantastic entrepreneurs who thought out of the box to solve a simple problem which he found when he was in his holiday. Then another entrepreneur called Shivani Siroyo. She found out that if you see 2.5 billion people don't have a financial credibility, they don't have a credit history, they don't get loan. They don't get any financial aid from the bank because nobody is going to give them the loan because they don't have a financial history. So what she did is she came up with an app where it's installed in all these tea stall vendors who are looking to he has got one tea stall, he want to put up few more tea stalls, but nobody is going to give him a loan because he doesn't have a credit history. So he will download that app. For a while, this app will actually monitor his activities and how many people he's talking to and what are the transactions he's going to do and how often he actually uses, how much money he pays, how much bill he pays. On all the thing, she actually developed a credit score for this small-time people, and she started a microfinance. Fantastic. What a brilliant idea to actually build a credit code, and she already built it for 1 million people. She built a credit score who have no financial credibility, just using a simple idea. Another company which I personally invested in this company, where if you see every fake document, apart from the money being lost, one genuine guy is sitting in the house who is deserved to get that job or get that university seat. But there are a lot of fake documents in the market. This guy is called Prithvi Rao, is a company called Element 42, is solving that problem. And I'm proud to associate with him because I've invested in it, and it's a fantastic solution, which is a mobile technology based. And he's going to solve this problem using mobile technology to avoid the fake documents. And these are the 4 stories which I found it that very fascinating. One I'm personally associated with. And I'm also picking up exploring a couple of new ideas, new apps, which can actually solve the very grassroots problem, which for us, for the people who are sitting in the audience, may not be very concerning, but it's very concerning when you go on the bottom of the pyramid. And well, one more aspect of the, one more segment, I sit on the board of BPAC, Bangalore Political Action Committee. So we are a civic movement, and we developed an app called Spotter, which actually resolves many civic issues. So you can download and find out what Spotter does. And a lot of issues in Bangalore, which we are solving it through Spotter. So mobile app is used to solve the civic issues. So as I said, being a social entrepreneur, I look at it in that way, that how can it solve the real world problem for the bottom of the pyramid? And one more sector, which I was telling somebody that this is the first time I'm announcing it in the public forum, that I'm actually launching my political startup. So India's first political startup will be launched on day after independence on August 16th this year. So 1.5 months from now. So democracy is something which India, being a largest democracy, is still not so vibrant. People are not still participating in the democracy. So I'm actually inviting a lot of app developers to find out how can we develop one app which can actually bring in people closer and which can make our democracy very vibrant and participative. So there's a lot to do in this sector. I'm very happy to invite any of you to come and work with us and solve this problem of non-participative democracy, because at the end of the day, we all have to live together, and there are a lot of issues concerning us in the society, but participation is required. Technology can bring that participation because we are too busy in our own world to do, we are busy in our own world, but we don't find time, but I'm very sure that technology can make the difference. So at the end, while closing, I was given only 10 minutes, 36 seconds left. So because I call myself a time investor, I value the time. So time investor, where I actually invest time in a startup companies. So I help them in the beginning and help the founders from investment banking to strategy, everything. That's what I do. So I have 7-8 companies on my portfolio now. So I just started a year back this whole idea called time investor. Well, so before I close, so I'll take half minutes more. That I would like to tell you all, you must be running a company, 100 developers you must be having, like a 2% CSR. Put 2 of your developers to solve some real world problem. Consider it as a 2% CSR. Just put them and ask them to find out those real world problems and find a way to solve it. And at the end, I want to close with one note. There's a saying called happiness over greatness. We all are doing all the things for our happiness. Happiness is about being selfish also, because happiness is all about us. Greatness is about others. When you can be great, only when you do great things. Today, you're all, by God's grace, all of you are doing well and in your own field. And I hope you all are happy and now become great. So my only call to all of you at the GMASA, that being happy is something about you. Being great is something about others. Be great in life, be happy, and most importantly, be great in life. God bless you all. Thank you, GMASA, for giving this opportunity.